Hey guys, what's up? So I kind of just woke up. I thought that I could finally come out and let you guys know what's up because I have received a lot of comments and questions about the situation, which I completely understand why wouldn't you want to know, but the only reason I haven't came forth and talked about this is because I didn't want to do it at the wrong time. I don't want to make this like a series of, okay, like watch next week and I'll let you know. I wanted this to like die out, and I hope that this is over. I want this to be done with. Like, I'm ready to be done with this. Alright, first of all, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go watch the video about me being publicly humiliated. I'm going to link that in the description for you to watch, so please make sure that you watch that first before you come and you watch this video. And I'm sorry that I've been looking in the viewfinder the whole time. So many people get on to me for that, but I can't help it. So here we go. Let's talk about what's going on. I'm gonna start from the beginning of the story. After I posted that video, the main purpose of that video was to ask for help and to, I don't know, I was at a standstill. I couldn't ask my family because they had never been in this situation before, so they didn't really know what information to give me. So that's why I went to YouTube. And if you go look at the video now, it has over 1 million views, and that just shows the impact that your voice has on the internet. That showed me what kind of impact that I have on the internet, and it's a little scary, but I am really glad that that video has it's been watched, whether it be because it's drama or it's because there's live footage and everybody wants to see that. But no, a lot of people have had my back during this, and even some that don't have my back, they have still gave me just critical information that me not being responsible or whatever that I needed. After me posting the video, I read some comments. I got some on my Instagram. Some girl actually DM'd me. A lot of you DM'd me, but there was one girl that I saw DM'd me and said, hi, like my parents work in an apartment complex and I have some information that I can give you about it. And she gave me like this long paragraph of what I needed to do, and it was just really helpful information. So I accepted the DM and I started DMing her, and I was just like, hey, like I really don't know where to go from here, and I really thank you so much for all the info that you're giving me. And basically what she was telling me was like, go to corporate. You need to find the corporate office of these people and go from there. And I was like, okay, sounds easy enough, but it actually wasn't. Finding the corporate office of this apartment complex was nearly impossible. So you're probably thinking, Taylor, just go to their website, it will be there. No, it wasn't. It wasn't there. Usually, places like apartment complex or whatever, or if like a business is ran by like a hierarchy, like there will be a corporate office, there'll be a corporate office number or their logo or whatever. There was nothing, and I was like, what the heck, how am I supposed to find it? But I don't know why I saved this. Actually, I do know why I saved this piece of paper. But there's a piece of paper on my refrigerator that was folded up and I completely forgot about it. But it was a letter that I got on my door months ago, and it was stating that my apartment complex was being ran and taken over by new management, and it's just letting all of their tenants know that, yeah, that's happening. And down below it was the new management that it was being taken over by. And I was like, yes, I'm so glad I saved it. But the only reason why I did was because it gave like the emergency maintenance number and the security officer's number. So that's like the only reason I saved it, and I'm so happy that I did. So finding who the corporate office was, the name of it, I typed it in on Google. I actually sent it to that girl to let her see if she can find out some information, because I was still struggling. There were like four corporate offices with the same name, and I didn't know which one it was. Some of them were different states, some of them was based, or one of them was actually based in New Mexico. In that meantime, I started receiving comments about what apartment complex that I was staying at. And I remember the first one that I got on the video, it said the name of the apartment complex, and I was like, oh shit, like I don't want anyone to know the name of it because I don't know what's going to come from it. I didn't mention it in the video. I didn't mention it anywhere. I didn't mention it in my Instagram stories. Nothing. But somehow somebody found out, and it's nobody that I even knew. I was kind of like startled by that a little bit. I immediately deleted the comment, and then they just started kind of rolling in. Rather, somebody saw it and they copied and pasted it, and then started copying and pasting it everywhere. Everybody figured out where the apartment complex was. And I thought that it was going to be a bad thing, but it actually turned out to be a good thing. I'll tell you why in a second. But anyways, back to me and the girl from Instagram trying to figure out the corporate office. We found one number, and I actually called it, and I think it was based in New Mexico. And it was a lady. She picked up the phone, she answered, and she's just like, how can I help you? And I told her my situation, and she was like, oh no, we don't run that apartment complex, I'm sorry. And then she stops me and she's just like, can you actually like let me know what's going on? Because I've had some people call and leave me messages, and I just want to know, like, is everything okay? And I just was like, I'm so sorry, first of all. And then I explained to her like everything that was going on. She was like, okay, well, I hope that you figure everything out, and wished me well and whatever, and we hung up the phone. But then I was like, oh my God, people are calling. So like some of you guys, whoever you are out there, if you're watching this, like you called, and like to me, like I'm not even upset or mad over that. Like I just couldn't believe that people were calling and trying to like help me. Like that was what was shocking to me. And then one of my friends texted me and she's like, go look at the Yelp reviews of your apartment complex. Go look at the Google Plus reviews of your apartment complex. I went and looked at them, and there were like 6 different reviews from the day that I posted it. And then each day it just like built up of like people leaving comments on Yelp, on Google Plus. It was insane, some of the stuff that you guys were saying, which I mean, like, again, not mad. I just couldn't believe somebody had my back like that. So I was really shocked. But now we're getting back to my point I was making, how that was a good thing. Because I still couldn't find the corporate office. I called every number that I saw on Google, and I couldn't find the corporate office. And then one day I receive a phone call, and a guy answers, and he's just like, hi, we're gonna call him Lewis. I'm Lewis from blah, 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 which was the corporate office's name. He's like, can I speak to you? I spoke to him, and the conversation, now this is the conversation that I have been waiting for. This is what I wanted. I didn't know how it was going to go. It caught me off guard a little bit, so I wasn't really prepared for what I was about to say, but I had in my head where I knew I wanted the conversation to go. So go back to the video. Now, I understand what I did wrong. And what I did wrong was I didn't ask for a copy of my lease when I should have. That was my mistake, and I will take that to my grave, and I learned my lesson, and I will always keep a copy of my lease. But the point that I'm trying to make is how I was talked to was distasteful, unsettling, and I will not accept that, because no one should ever talk to you that way. I don't care if you had a bad day. I've had a bad day, but I'm not going to come in and talk to you like that. You know, you don't know what I went through. When my car got hit on their property for a hit and run, I went in there and I asked them if they had cameras, and they were like, no, we don't have cameras. Why? And I'm thinking to myself, what? You don't have cameras out front? Which I think, personally, my own opinion, that they're not telling the truth, only because they just don't want to be involved. Which is fine. But I didn't show myself. I let it go. I just said, okay. So my car just got hit, and whatever. I dealt with it. Still acted appropriately, right? Anyways, where was I going with this? Okay. That was my whole point, was I don't like how I was treated. It was wrong. Miscommunication on both ends. Not just my end. It was their end too. So that's what I want. What can we do about this? But when he calls me, it turns into like a sort of conversation of, so, I've heard what's been going on. He said he heard what's been going on. And I'm like, yeah, I go in to tell him a little bit. And he's like, oh, I've already seen the video. His tone came off as like displeased. So I was like, okay, well he sounds mad. Great, the corporate office is mad at me. Now I'm effed. Like, you know, like I can't, it's done. Like I can already tell. But that's kind of not the way that it went. He tells me that he's seen the video, and a lot of you guys have been sending him. He said he received emails, which I was like, wait, what? You received emails? Like, they've got emails, which I don't know if it's from like Yelp emails and he just gets those immediately. I don't know how like working in a corporate office works, but he said he receives them every day. And I was like, oh, I mean, I'm so sorry. I never released any information about where I live. That was not the purpose of the video. It was just to ask questions about what I should do. And also I wanted my voice to be heard because I think I was treated very, very poorly. And he was like, okay, well, it seems like you take really good care of the apartment. And I guess he was just judging that by like my apartment being in the background. I don't know, and you could just see that I had like decor up and it looked really nice or whatever. And I was like, tell you what, I'll let it go and we'll end your lease early. And I was like, okay. But obviously there's a catch to it. There's always a catch. And he says, but you gotta take the video down. And in that split second of him telling me take the video down, do I want to end the lease early so it can be over? Heck yeah! Like, this isn't worth the trouble. But I am a woman that will not be disrespected, and I will stand my ground, and I firmly believe that your voice can be heard just as much as you make it be heard. So me taking the video down is kind of like me letting it all go and they do it all over again. You know what I'm saying? They get away with it, sort of thing. And I'm sorry, but I don't think that that is okay, because the two women that talk to me like that, they don't need to be working in an office. They don't need to be managers. And that was like the whole thing. They don't need to be doing that because it was just wrong. So, and that's what I said. I was like, no, I'm not going to take it down because I feel as if the video has impacted some people that may get treated that way, and it's impacted me. It let me know that people hear me, and if the video wasn't released, then I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now. I mean, that's the truth. Like, if you guys didn't email, if you guys didn't like go to the Yelp reviews, you caught his attention when I couldn't, and the video finally caught his attention, but he looked at it as in a negative light. Which, yeah, the video, it puts their business in a negative light. It puts one of the apartment complexes that he owns in a negative light. So don't you think as a businessman that he would be like, okay, well, shit, okay, well, these ladies don't need to be working here. I'll get rid of them real fast. We'll figure out your lease situation and bada boom, bada bing. Done. Whatever. Even if he said, we can't do anything about your lease situation because it's in the contract, I would have accepted it. I swear. I would have accepted it and just been like, okay, well, at least you are acknowledging that those ladies don't need to be working there. Okay, so anyways, it was like a bribery and I didn't like it. So I said no to him and it was quiet. This was so awkward. It was quiet on the phone for about 10 plus seconds. I thought he was thinking, or maybe had me on mute, which he probably did have me on mute, or was talking to somebody else. I don't really know, but it was awkward for me, so I was just like, hello? He was like, yep, I'm here. But I could just like, I felt his body language to the phone. Have you ever done that? I just felt like he was just like this, really not pleased and just like hating life right now because of my video. So he's like, okay, we'll try to figure it out and we'll go from there. So basically, as you can see, like, the conversation didn't really, like, it didn't really do anything. Like, it didn't help me, it didn't help him, it didn't do anything. Like, he thought that he could ask me to delete the video and then it'd be like done, but no, it's not like that. So a day later, I get an email, and again, the email makes me feel, I don't remember what it says, but it made me feel like, again, there's no help. I told him, I emailed him back, and I was just like, I don't feel like my feelings are being taken into consideration. I feel as if you are not actually hearing me, but you are just seeing a video that is putting things into a negative light when I'm only trying to get help from how I was talked to. That's it. Eventually, he just lets me know, okay, well, I'll see what I can do for you, which is now, here we are. My lease was cut early. That's not what I wanted to get out of it. I paid March, which is the last month that I stayed there. I paid that rent on April 2nd or 3rd, and I had to go there to pay it, but I wasn't about to go in. So I had Angel go in for me. As soon as he comes back out, I'm like, are those ladies still working there? And he said, yes, they're still working there. They're still doing their thing. They still sound like mean women. And I'm just so dissatisfied in that. That's what I'm dissatisfied. Like, they can keep my deposit. They can do what they need to do. But get rid of the women that are so disrespectful, that don't deserve to work in management, that don't deserve to have the title of a manager because they take advantage of it. I don't like that. And between like me and you guys, whenever I was talked to that way and like booted out of the apartment complex, told to get out or they're gonna call the police, I go to my car and I'm still sitting at the office. I sit there for about 10 minutes because I made a call to Angel to tell him like what just happened. And I sit there, and then the manager that spoke to me awful, I don't even know if that's a word, awful, she spoke to me awful. She comes outside and she makes a phone call. She doesn't see me, so I roll down my window halfway to see what she's talking about, and I look in the rearview mirror, and she's calling someone a bitch, and I immediately think it's me, but I hear the rest of the conversation. She's not even talking about me. She's talking about someone else. So this just proves this lady's character. Like, she's over here, comes outside, makes a phone call, calling someone a bitch, like just speaking really ratchet. Just, I mean, that, my own personal opinion, speaking really ratchet. And I'm just like, wow, this lady, like, okay, whatever. But anyways, so here we are. I think we're done with the apartment complex situation. I don't really know. I really don't know. I'm in a different apartment. Obviously, you probably can tell by the background or whatever. And am I happy? I don't know. I like it so far. I don't like apartment complexes, but I don't want to own a house yet. I don't know where I'm going with life. I travel a little too much to hold down a house. So I just don't think that that is a good choice for me right now. Yeah, this is where me and Angel are at. I don't know. That was the story of it. Don't feel necessarily helped, but I'm glad my voice was heard. I'm glad that, you know, some people that deal with this on a daily basis, like, it's not fair to be treated this way, and I'm glad that I was heard. And this is stuff that happens like to everyone, and it sucks, and I hate it so much. But just be careful, you know, just be careful. Like, if you are a manager, be careful, be considerate, be sincere. Because me, I was being sincere to them. I was being considerate. I gave them the benefit of the doubt before making them seem as if they were bitchy women, and then they came at me full force in bitch mode, so I had no choice but to think they're just bitches. The last thing that I kind of just want to throw in there is that this is so weird and crazy, but it made me feel a little uncomfortable. So this is why I don't know if I want to do like an apartment tour or whatever, because I feel like some of you would like to see it, because this is actually like, I really like this apartment, but I didn't want to show it off and someone recognize it, because the other day, or it was like a week or two ago, something happened to make Angel and I feel like our space isn't respected. I'm open about living in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but part of me wishes that I did not say anything, because we went and ate at a restaurant, and I put my location on my Instagram story of the restaurant, not thinking anything about it. I mean, I I've done that before, and I know a lot of like other influencers that's done that before. And we had the server come out to us, and she brings us a piece of paper and it has a number on it with a name, and the server was like, they asked you to call them. And I was like, okay. So thinking that that was a little weird, but not knowing if it was like one of our friends that were just pulling a prank on us or something like that, we didn't know. So Angel, he calls the number, they don't answer, and then he texts it and says, who is this? And it's like a supporter, someone that watches my videos and likes both of us. And they responded back, they were like, oh my gosh, I didn't think that that would work, holy crap, like I love you guys so much. And like I think that's sweet. Like I would never turn away somebody that comes up to me and says like, hey, I love you so much, I love your videos. I've had that happen before, and like it's sweet. But like calling, I just thought that that was a little weird. But that's not even like the end of it. That made us feel a little weird, and we just didn't speak to the person. They kept texting Angel, which I felt so bad about. Yeah, it was just like they made the initiative to like call the, like find the restaurant on Google, call it, and like say, hey, is there like a guy and a girl there with like brown hair and blonde hair sitting at blah blah blah? And like it's just a little weird. And then not too long ago, Angel receives a phone call from someone, or I'm sorry, not a phone call, a text from someone, and it was with a very like unsettling, it was an unsettling text that he received, and he was getting ready to go to work, so it made it even worse, kind of like he had to go to work with that on his mind. And we didn't know who it was, but the area code was like from here. So we were like, oh my god, who is this? Do you know? I asked him, like, do you know who this is? And he was like, no, I have no idea who this number is. So he's like reaching out to people, asking like, hey, do you know what this number is or who this might be? Because this is kind of effed up. And I call it because I'm just like, okay, I've had it. Like, who the heck is trying to like do something here? So I call it, and they don't answer, and then they call me back, or they actually call Angel, and we're asking him like what point they're trying to make, like what they're trying to do, and it's still like it doesn't make sense what they were trying to do out of the text that they sent, and it was just kind of disturbing. And then they called my number back. Oh my god, I was so upset about that. But they called my number back, so they had my number, and they constantly called me. They sent me like a paragraph, like I received like 6 or 7 long paragraphs. Just, it was a little creepy. And they gave me their Instagram, and I went and looked at their Instagram, and this is like a whole nother story. I went and looked at their Instagram, and I saw that they had sent me DMs. I never accepted them, but I saw that they had sent them, and they started out like normal, but then one of them was like, oh my god, some of the things that I would do to you, and like it was gross. And then I was telling one of my best friend about it, and she was like, well, he messages me gross stuff all the time because he knows that I'm your friend. And like even started a fight with someone in her comment section. And it was, oh my god, yeah. So they like constantly called me. They called me from a different number each time I didn't answer. Like I blocked one, and then they called again from another number. Blocked that one, called again from another number. Like it was just like nonstop. So it made me feel not okay. I don't know where this person's at. I don't know like if they are from here or whatever. But yeah, that was the point of me like saying that I don't know if I want to do apartment tour, because I don't want anybody to like recognize where I live. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I don't know. I'm just letting that pass. So we'll see. But yeah, that's been my crazy ass month. Thank you for being patient. Thank you guys for sticking up for me. I mean, seriously, like, I can't believe I have people like this, like, on my side to the point where, like, you'll go as far as trying to help me. But, okay, anyways, I think I'm about to lose memory on my memory card. I did lose memory. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for hearing me out. I hope that I answered some questions about some crappy things that I was going through. If you have any questions, like, maybe you guys can start like conversations if you're going through the same thing that I went through. Maybe you can start a conversation in the comment section and somebody will help you. And that's what I love about you guys, is like some of you guys help each other out in the comment section, and that's what really makes me happy. And I like when you reply back to one another. It's kind of sweet. But okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.